Well, thank you, Rowan. And now we're watching Donkey Vote, and we're going to take a trip to scenic, peaceful, riot-free Portland, Oregon, where peaceful protesters have, for the last 55 days, been peacefully exercising their right to peacefully make their peaceful voices heard. At least that's what much of the American media, echoed here in Australia, has been trying to tell people. Indeed, let's have a look at how some of the networks have been covering these protests you're seeing on your screen.
The mayor now tear-gassed by federal officers during a protest. Mayor Ted Wheeler outside the federal courthouse with hundreds of protesters suddenly engulfed by thick tear gas. The mayor now calling it flat-out urban warfare, telling the New York Times he saw nothing to provoke that kind of response. Protesters setting off fireworks and ripping down protective fencing.
This evening, the Justice Department's Inspector General has opened an investigation into the use of force by federal agents in Portland, Oregon, as that city's mayor found himself in the middle of new violent clashes. More from Aaron McLaughlin.
Overnight in Portland, protesters stormed the federal courthouse, some launching flares and fireworks over the steel barricade. Federal agents respond with tear gas. Portland police declared a riot. Among those gassed, Portland's Democratic mayor.
I want to thank the thousands of you who've come out to oppose the Trump administration's occupation of our city.
Scary stuff there. Nasty federal agents using tear gas on innocent anti-police brutality protesters, and even the mayor, who was lauded by the press for courageously going and standing against Trump's stormtroopers, or whatever they're calling them on Twitter. And then there's a so-called wall of moms, suburban women who have come out to act as human shields for the rioters. Oh, sorry, did I say rioters? I meant to say peaceful protesters to protect their peaceful sons and peaceful daughters who have spent the last several nights trying to burn down a U.S. federal courthouse with federal marshals inside. Only here's the thing. These protesters, who are supposedly about police justice and police brutality, are not about reform, but they're about revolution. And those moms, they're not just a PR stunt. They're also taking part in the action, as you can see in the footage right now on your screen. And as with every revolution from Paris 1789 on, there's a rule that's even more powerful than go woke, go broke. And that is the old rule of the French Revolution, pas d'ennemis à gauche, or no enemies to my left, which in practice also means you can never be woke enough. That Mayor Ted Wheeler I mentioned before, well, he might have been celebrated by the media, but he was also chased off by Antifa because he refused to respond affirmatively to their demands to abolish the police. The fact is, these Portland rioters have taken one tragic death in Minneapolis 2 months ago and turned it into an excuse to preach violent revolution. They have no demands that anyone can see other than a complete overturning of the American government and society, yet too many people, particularly in the media, pretend that in the face of mounting evidence to the contrary, they are just peacefully expressing their First Amendment rights to air their grievances. Meanwhile, in Washington, Donald Trump's press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, decided to educate the White House press corps on just exactly what was happening. I know a lot of people are saying that Trump is on the back foot right now, but Democrat mayors like Portland's Ted Wheeler and those in Chicago and New York and elsewhere, where all of this lawlessness is going on, are giving Trump the best campaign commercials he could dream of.